Hi, for those of you that don't know me, my name is Doreen and I am the director of the Looning House, the Lunenburg Senior Center, the Eagle House. And a lot of my material is really based upon experience. I did not know that we were going to be filming tonight, so the thing is that we have a lousy makeup crew, and I just want you to know that I really am a 25-year-old, 135-pound blonde. But this is all we had to work with, okay? And, you know, when I became a senior center director, the one character that I put in my office was Wonder Woman, and Wonder Woman sits up on my window. And I've known that since I became a director, I really am Wonder Woman, because I wonder where I left my keys, I wonder where I left my purse, I wonder where all my money's gone. You know, things like that happen. And you know, at the senior center, we learn each day, we learn about all new kinds of technology. And Henry came in the other day, and Henry had a brand new hearing aid, and he was strutting his stuff with his new hearing aid, and he was walking around the day room and saying, "See my new hearing aid, you know?" And then he gets into it. Yeah, he says, "It cost me $4,000 this hearing aid." And Mary looked up at him and she said, "Well, what kind is it?" And he said, "$12.30." You know, one of the things that happens all the time, and I will tell you, the telephones at the senior center are absolutely hysterical. Okay, you can pick up the telephone anytime and you go, "Hello, Eagle House Senior Center, this is Doreen speaking," and you hear, "What day is it?" And you say, oh, yeah, today we have cribbage at 9 o'clock, and yes, no, we have book club at 10, and no, for lunch we're having chicken cordon bleu, and yes, and at 1 o'clock, Margaret from Rivercourt is coming, and she is going to give us a 4-minute PowerPoint presentation about sex after 60, based upon her own personal experience. Yeah, no, it's Tuesday. It's Tuesday. That's all you wanted to know? Yeah, no, it's Tuesday. And then, you know, one time, my son decided to answer the phone at the senior center. Now, I noticed that when I was here tonight, that everybody, it's a family thing. The municipalities are smart. When they hire council on aging directors, they hire their whole family. They know they're getting their bang for their buck, because our husbands, our partners, our kids, they're always here. They're always toting and fetching and doing all kinds of things. So one summer, my son James was home, and that is his name. I didn't change his name. One summer, James was home from Elms College, and I had him answering the phones at the senior center. And he got a telephone call, and the woman on the end of the phone, he was booking a transportation. So he's like, "Good afternoon, this is James, and how can I help you?" And she said, "Well, yes, I have to go for a medical procedure." He said, "Oh, medical procedure? Okay." He said, "What time are you going?" "I'm going at 10 o'clock. "What day are you going?" "I'm going on Wednesday." "Okay, and where?" She said, "It's a colonoscopy." She said, "That's where they take a light and they put it up." And he goes, No, man, I meant, what facility are you going to?" And he says, "Oh, God," he says, "Mom, I hate this job. I just hate this job." You know, another time we get these calls, and we get called from Meals on Wheels. And for some reason the truck breaks down or something breaks down. And you call somebody at their home. And one day I remember I called Tom, and I said to Tom, I said, "Good afternoon, Tom. This is Doreen from Eagle House Senior Center." "Who?" "Tom, this is Doreen from Eagle House Senior Center." "Who?" "Tom, I'm just calling to tell you that there will be no Meals on Wheels today." "Oh, what's squealing?" No, Tom. "We're calling to tell you that there are no Meals on Wheels today." "Who's this?" "Tom, you're not getting any food." "Oh, okay, thanks a lot." Now, another time I got a phone call, and I pick up the phone, and it's bingo day. And I hear on the end of the phone a young child's voice, and she's like, "Hello, is my meme there?" I said, "Who's your meme?" "Well, it's my meme. Is my meme there?" I said, what's Meme's name? Meme. Can you tell me a little something about Meme? Because we have a lot of Memes here. Well, she's playing bingo. Ah, good. And what else about your Meme can you tell me? Well, she puts all those things in front of her bingo cards, the one that give her good luck. Okay? Anything else you can tell? Well, yeah, she's got gray hair and she goes to AARP. So I said, you know, is there any way you can narrow it down? Is it something that you can tell me? You know, what color did your Meme wear? What is her favorite color? Well, I don't know what her favorite color is, but her favorite show is Golden Girls and some guy named Clarence Welk. I said, well, let me see what I can do. I go, is there one last hint you can give me about Meme? Yep. She says that she hasn't had a man since Pepe died back in 1986, and she has no intention of having another one. So I walk into the day room and I go, telephone! And they, right in the middle of bingo, because that's like sacred. You don't speak out of bingo. Telephone, and they said, who? I said, for all of ya. You know, it was what I also worked up in Templeton, and when I worked in Templeton, I had the privilege of working with people from all different walks of life. But the people that I loved the most are the French Canadians. And there was a lady up there, Rita, and Rita was 87 years old. And so I heard this conversation one day going on. And I found out that Rita was dating a 62-year-old man. So she was quite the scandal of the of the senior center. And they're saying, oh, you're dating a 62-year-old man? And I heard them in French, you know, and they said, Rita, you know, when you date a 62-year-old man, that is like robbing the cradle. And Rita looked up and she said, yes, but the cradle, it rocks good at night. I'll tell you this one story, and this is the honest to God's truth. And thank God the Sentinel and Enterprise never printed it. But we have, now let me just tell you this, I'm going to make a little commercial announcement here. Today, I brought newsletters from the Lunenburg Senior Center. So, they are out there, and Marsha tells me that you can get them, don't all run out right now, but Marsha tells me that you'll be able to pick them up through the week here at the Senior Center, okay? And in that newsletter from Lunenburg, and don't cheat, because I only put 5 of them, okay? There are 5 pink circles, and there's a pink circle in these newsletters, and it has a number 2 on it. And that number 2 is next to our advertisement about our pancake breakfast. So if you happen to get one of those newsletters, and by the way, don't go out and buy pink stickers, because I'll figure it out. I've been in this job 15 years. Okay? If you go out and you get one of those with the pink sticker on it, you're more than welcome to be my guest, and it has a 2, so that means you can bring a guest. But you're more than welcome to be my guest at the pancake breakfast, okay? Now that's not a joke, that's for real, all right? But we started having pancake breakfasts about 3 years ago, and the reason why we did that was it was a fundraiser, and one of the things that we wanted to raise funds for was to get a defibrillator for the senior center, a very important thing. So we worked with the Turkey Hill Lions Club, and we worked with the fire department to get this defibrillator. So the day comes that the defibrillator arrives, and the fire chief comes in all his regalia, and all the people from the Lions Club come, and me as the director, and you know, we begin to have our photo op, and you know, the Sentinel and Enterprise is there, and the Lunenburg Ledger is there, and the fire chief gives a little lesson to all the patrons at the Eagle House about the defibrillator. And the next thing I know, I see a young reporter walking around, and she's asking the seniors, well, what do they think of this brand new defibrillator? And my little friend Terry says, you know something? She says, we love this. We absolutely love this. She says, we have such a fantastic director, and we have such a fantastic fire chief, she said, they bought us a brand new vibrator and they took the time to show us how to use it. She said, it's so easy that anybody can use it. And that really happened. I pulled her away from the reporter. I did not want that one going on. You know, I'll tell you this one thing that, I don't know, we were watching when the Pope was being elected, and a lot of times they were talking about maybe Cardinal O'Malley might be elected, you know, and we were all hoping that we might get an American Pope. That would be really something to have an American Pope. And there was this one Pope that they were looking at, and it's Pope Sokola out of, it's Bishop Sokola out of New York, and they were looking really at maybe putting Sokola in there. And so he went through in the first ballot, but at one point somebody pointed out, and they said, you know, if you put Sokola in there as Pope, we're going to have to call him Pope Sokola. Now, the last thing I'm going to read you, this just came to me. Now, I cannot believe this. This is legitimate. It is a fax to the Council on Aging from our coffee vendor. And our coffee vendor sent us a list. And I'm trying to figure out, maybe you guys can help me. So, you know, I want you to give me a show of hands, okay? They actually describe types of coffee that I could buy for the seniors in the following ways. Okay, now if you feel like this might be the kind of coffee you'd like, I want to take that information back from the Eagle to the Eagle House and be able to use it. Okay, so we have a fair trade organic. It's described as exotically lush, sweet, and heavy-bodied. Now, how many would think you like that coffee? Here's one that you'd have to take your heart pill for, okay? It's called Diamond Extra Bold. And that's dangerously dark and not for the faint of heart. How many are in for that one? Here's one, I thought I'd save it for Christmas. You'll have to tell me what you think, okay? It's hazelnut number 672. And it's described as buttery and sweet with the rich flavor of warm roasted nuts. I think I'll save that for Christmas, huh? Here's one. I don't know why they named it Newman's Special Blend. I think I should call it 50 Shades of Grey. It's called a hearty, full-bodied blend of medium and dark roast, bold yet refined, strong yet smooth. And then, for those of us, there are still a few of us, I'm not one of them, but there are still a few of us that are still, you know, menopausal. There are those of us that are perimenopausal, but I hate that word. But anyway, for those of us that are still menopausal, there is a K-Cup package sampler, and it says, a collection of rich flavors to match the different moods and moments of your day. But, I don't know, I haven't had too many people voting, but what I decided I would settle on is Donut House Coffee. And it seems like the Donut House Coffee might be safe for the Council on Aging. It reads, familiar from the very first step. Familiar from the very first sip. This easy-going, bold, dependable cup that you will enjoy every day. And the part that sealed the deal was a classic favorite for all ages. So I think that's what I'm going to go with. I didn't get too many votes. I'm just going to tell you one last story. And this one, I was coming out of the senior center today. Not today, I'm sorry, it was a couple of weeks ago. And it was pouring rain, absolutely pouring rain. And two ladies were standing out there, and you know, it's not very popular nowadays to smoke, so they were kind of off to the side having a cigarette. And the rain's coming down, and they're puffing away. And Joan's got herself a nice cigarette going. And all of a sudden, with the rain, she reaches in her pocket, and she pulls out a condom. and she rolls the condom out, she cuts the end off the condom, and she slides it onto the cigarette to keep the cigarette from getting wet. So Mary Catherine, who has been a good Catholic and has 17 children, looks over at Joan and says, "What's that that you have on your cigarette?" She says, "It's a condom." She said, "A condom?" She said, "Yeah." She says, "Works very well to keep my cigarette dry." She said, "Well, where would I get something like a condom?" So, "Well, you can get it at the pharmacy." So, Mary Catherine, So, at 87 years of age, she takes her walker, she goes in to CVS and up to the counter and she says, "I'd like to buy some condoms." And the pharmacist looks at her and he says, "Condoms?" You know, because he's known her all her life. He knows that she's got 17 kids. So he says, "Condoms." He says, "Well, Mary Catherine," he says, "why would you want to buy yourself some condoms?" And she said, "Well, I don't know." She doesn't want to tell him. So the next question he says to her was, "Well, what type of condom would you want to buy?" And she looked at him and she said, "Well, I really don't care, just as long as it will fit over a camel."